Welcome back to Around the Block with GoodBlock. This is Sean here with my friend Leah, and today we are bringing you a special episode where we answer the internet's burning crypto questions autocomplete style. Well, we will try to answer them or at least address them in some form or another.
We will, but before we go into that, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and turn on notifications to be notified when we drop more content like this. It is Halloween here in the States, and we are preparing to go have fun with our friends and family, and we thought there would be nothing spookier than an autocomplete from Google. Nothing worse.
All right, well, let's jump in. So I'm going to go the first question here, which is, or the first one is blockchain? And then what do I get? So autocomplete, is blockchain safe? Is blockchain the future? I'll just do the first four. Is blockchain capitalized? Is blockchain cryptocurrency? All right, do five. Is blockchain legit? Yes and no to all of those. Is blockchain safe? Blockchain is as safe as the community that is putting it together. I mean, there's some people who are building blockchains that are not necessarily decentralized, that they're very centralized, and they will have their risks associated with them that would be with any centralized system, whether it's censorship or whether it's the ability for people to control the funds or the flow of information. I mean, decentralized ledger technology is blockchain, and whatever it is, it's as safe as the people who have essentially set it up and whatever smart contracts are sort of governing it. So it goes back to the code. Is blockchain the future? Hopefully, a decentralized future where ownership is in the hands of... is blockchain cryptocurrency? No, it's not. Blockchain can be many things. You can create cryptocurrency in a blockchain or for a blockchain, but cryptocurrency can be centralized or decentralized, just like a blockchain can be centralized or decentralized. But a blockchain can exist without cryptocurrency.
Can cryptocurrency exist without a blockchain?
Yes, you can have cryptocurrency. You can have cryptographic currency exist without a blockchain. That's a great question.
Learned something new. I thought for sure you could not, based on nothing.
Yeah, it's digital. It's digital. Cryptocurrency is just digital currency that is. And you know what? We're going to talk about this in the BS. I think you brought something up earlier today that I think is a legitimate BS to bring up, and you've answered your own question. And last, is blockchain legit? It depends on who's, again, that goes back to the first question. Is blockchain safe? Is the blockchain legit? It depends on whether it's decentralized or whether it's centralized. It depends on who's organizing it, how well the code is written, and who's behind it. Just like any organization, what are the values and what are what's the vision and mission that put it into place to begin with, and is that still being lived out? And if it's being lived out and it's bad, then no, it's not legit. And if it's being lived out and it's good, and it's still being lived out and it's good, then yeah, blockchain can be legit. All right, what's the next one, Leah?
I got cryptocurrency, so I put that in my Google search bar. Apparently, I have to put it in again because
it's not coming up.
It didn't want to wait for me. And what I get is cryptocurrency a good investment? Is cryptocurrency taxed? Is cryptocurrency dead? Is cryptocurrency the future? Is cryptocurrency a secure? So people want to know, is it bad for the environment? Is it a Ponzi scheme? Is it safe? The answer to all those questions is, yeah, it's dead. It's the future. It's safe. It's not safe again, like you were just saying, Sean. It's whatever the creators that hold the keys to the blockchain have made it out to be. And that goes for everything in society, right? Like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
there are blockchains that are good for the environment or at least less impactful, and there are
Mm-hmm.
blockchains that take up more energy. There are blockchains where how they're structured is they're definitely a security, and there are blockchains that they're most likely not a security. They're, I mean,
Right.
there
Mm-hmm.
are blockchain projects that are definitely scams, and then there are ones that are not. But
Yeah.
again, I don't see how that's different than literally almost everything else in existence, because humans are both good and bad.
Yeah, it goes back to the gray area, and I like that what you said, because humans are both good and bad. We do good things, we do bad things, and cryptocurrency exists and blockchain exists out of um, what we are as and what we choose to do as humans. Um, cool. Let me do my next one. My next one is how how is crypto? Fill in the blank. How is crypto taxed? How is crypto doing? How is cryptocurrency mined? How is cryptocurrency doing? How is cryptocurrency valued? So, and again, it goes back to the other one. Here's another one. How is crypto bad for the environment? Um, Crypto is taxed based on where you live. So the first one being how is crypto taxed? Depends on your country and depends on whether or not every country is different. Every place is different. Some countries are starting to crack down on it more and more. In the United States, if you uh, liquidate your cryptocurrency in some way or another, then you have the potential to be taxed on it. At least it came up in my taxes this year as like questions as like, do you have cryptocurrency you're holding? Did you liquidate it? Blah blah blah. Those questions came up. Um, how is think about how crypto is doing. It that depends on what cryptocurrency you're looking at or what you're looking at from that perspective. If a person isn't currently investing or they're purchasing cryptocurrency, then if they purchased it at this time, then they might be doing really well since we're in a bear market and it's going to head up. If you purchased it when it was at the peak of the crypto summer, then you're probably not super happy with what you have right now. But if you are holding and you're willing to hold, then you know that like all these seasons, it's going to move through that season to a better one, and the market will generally turn and move in the right direction. But again, it depends really on what it is you're holding. If you're holding crap tokens or if you're holding utility in blockchains that are not actually building things that are worthwhile, then your crypto is not going to do well. Crypto in of itself, is it bad for the environment? That again goes back to the chain. Depends on how the chain is built, and there are some chains that are carbon neutral, and some of the biggest ones and the most well-known ones are horrible for the environment. So like Ethereum, Bitcoin, massive numbers of people, all basically competing or fighting for the right to mine a specific token or to control the flow of information on those particular chains, and to be the one who posts the block or the ledger, then it's using a lot of energy and it's not necessarily good for the environment. But other chains, like anything in the Antelope Coalition, is really super green. What's your next one, Leah?
What is blockchain?
These are all great questions, by the way, because this is the stuff that I'm super passionate about, and from the standpoint of mass adoption, getting people to when people are asking these questions, it's a good thing because it's getting people into a place where they're curious and they want to know. And I think even though for some people who are probably watching this, they're like, oh, what this is all, nothing's new here for me. But the reality is there are lots of people that you probably know out there that are asking these questions who don't know, and maybe they're not asking you because they're too embarrassed or they're afraid of the answer that they'll get. But these are the questions that are out there.
So I have, what is blockchain technology? What is blockchain gaming? What is blockchain used for? So blockchain tech, I mean, you yourselves can Google this out and get a more concise answer, but blockchain technology is an open ledger essentially that just records multiple people that are running computers, nodes around the world running the same software, and recording whatever gets input into that software on their computers, and that makes it open ledger, an open book, however, whatever you want to say, that people can then look at. People like you and me just get on the internet and see what's been entered into that ledger. And in that way, it kind of serves as a universal truth keeper for everything that happens on that chain. So, Sean, you probably have a better way of saying that, or a more concise way at least.
No, I think what you said was great, and I probably would ramble on aimlessly. What was some of the other ones?
What is blockchain gaming?
Oh, that's a good question.
So, I would say blockchain gaming is a game that has integrated blockchain technology, that open ledger, to do certain actions within the game that they feel are important. Not all blockchain games are on a blockchain or use like a full suite of the blockchains they're on. Some just record financial transactions, like if you buy a skin or some kind of upgrade in the game, uh, that would be recorded on a blockchain to make like a sort of receipt. There's some that build, marketplaces so that you can do some peer-to-peer trading and buying, etc. There's some that use the technology to, create NFTs and record, these unique, items, collectibles. I mean, it's just being creative and using the technology however you think would be helpful within your game. And the idea is that you're kind of trying to cut out centralized middlemen that would take a large percentage of value from you and be able to have actual ownership of parts of a game that you play, or ensure that the game pieces that you've purchased or earned won't go away because they're recorded on that ledger of truth. And that's the idea. I mean, what do you think, Sean?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's it. I mean, the fact is that with the blockchain and gaming, you kind of hit it that it's both. Uh, there are elements that are going to be on the blockchain or in the ledger that people are going to be able to access, whether it's transactions or whether it's like, oh, this action happened, therefore it's recorded so that people can look back in the game and know that it was legit. Whether there's, gambling, and then there's all kinds of different types of other games where they try to record all that stuff so that people know that what's happening is legitimate or safe. It'll be interesting to see right now, a big piece of the pie that we're working on, and a big piece of the Web3 puzzle is cloud storage, and getting cloud storage to be enterprise grade, which is what we're building in D-Store, which I think is huge and going to be so significant for a lot of companies. Out of that enterprise grade cloud storage will come true decentralized cloud computing for enterprise. And I think that will be the next sort of level that we will be able to reach when applications and gaming will actually operate from a decentralized space. And I think that's going to be really huge. That is the Web3 future.
Yeah, I mean, for all these, what is blockchain? Uh, just to sum it all up, blockchain is a piece of technology that, however you can get creative
Yeah.
to use it to do what you want to do, or leverage its power, you can. It can be used for anything. People use it for tracking physical goods and services. They can use it for doing, DeFi financial transactions. They can use it for NFTs. They can use it for, creating these protocols that are more efficient. And blockchain technology is just, like we said, at its core, a simple idea. My favorite analogy is for it is it's like when we used to listen to radio and you'd have to catch your favorite song on radio and record it on a tape.
Oh yeah, of course.
And then,
Yep.
yeah, so you like put in the physical cassette tape, hit record, and let's say 20 people did that listening to, I don't know, Howard Stern on the radio. Or like
Mm-hmm.
20,000 people is probably more likely did that because they wanted to hear his interview with John Stamos or whomever. And then the government said that interview was too hot, too hot. We need that interview to come down. Howard, take that interview down. You're not going to play it anymore. It's no longer going to be accessible to the public. They don't want anyone to listen to this interview again. Well, how would they recall those 20,000 tapes? People would have to
Yeah, exactly.
voluntarily send them in. They wouldn't know who recorded it. They wouldn't know when they did or what pieces of the interview they recorded. They wouldn't even know in that specific example how many people recorded. That's kind of like what blockchains recreated in a more sophisticated way.
Yeah,
The
I
ability
think
to kind of record these truths and own them.
that's a fantastic picture, Leah. I think that's perfect, and I think, um, you know, this is why people are talking about this, and this is why it's exciting, and this is why for the last several years this industry and market has been growing, and I think that's really important. For people to recognize it's okay. They're not coming in late. If they're joining the party now, they're actually still pioneers. If you're joining now, you're still a pioneer. If you're thinking about getting into the blockchain space or getting involved in some form or another, you're still early. So come on in. The water's fine. Speaking of the market, we should move on to our man Nathaniel Moss and get Moss's Market Minute next. So let's put a minute up on the clock, and hopefully this minute won't be as spooky as the season.
So this Halloween has actually been kind of a great thing for blockchain. We've had a lot of winners this week. The general trend is going up. We got Doge up 111% to 12 cents. That one's crazy. Osmosis up 33% to $1.57. BNB up 20% to $328. Ethereum up 16% to $15.65. EOS is up 7% to $1.14. Solana up to 15. Even that it's up, I'm shocked. Bitcoin is up 5% to 20,400. Telos, my home chain, down 4% to 15 cents. Pius is the winner this week with a 431% increase to $1.08. It might be a pump and dump, but it is a game-based NFT for an exchange on real-world crops. And most of the billion-dollar caps stayed within 3%, up or down. That's my market minute.
Okay, thank you, Nathaniel. Up next, we're talking block stuff. Yep, crypto BS. Leah, you had said something to me earlier today about something that you had seen that I thought was really good, and that it also alludes back to what you were talking about earlier in this session. Tell us about the BS that you wanted to bring up today.
Well, the BS that we have stumbled upon this week happens to be CBDCs, which are a centralized form of cryptocurrency that governments may or may not want to implement for their countries. Basically, if you're in the US, like we are, putting the dollar on the blockchain and having that dollar controlled by the appointed governmental body. So much like how our currency works in this day and age, except all the currency is on the blockchain and tracked on the blockchain. So the reason this came up, right, is the UK is thinking of doing this. Their new prime minister, newly elected or appointed since their prime minister stepped down a few weeks ago, is interested in implementing this. And it has a mixed reaction from the crypto community.
And why did you see it as block stuff, as BS?
I think it, and most of the crypto community, I think, thinks it's a very bad idea. We don't, most people that got into crypto in the earlier days got in it to create a decentralized form of currency in which it cannot be revoked. If it's in your wallet, it's yours. Only you have control to that ability to send that currency, etc., and decide its fate, so to speak. And this is using the technology in a way that perverts that original intent, because the central government would be issuing the currency and would be able to claw back currency from wallets if they wanted to, add inflation if they wanted to, deflate as they want to. I mean, it really is how it works now, but they would be doing it much more efficiently and aggressively.
Exactly, and they would say that it's on the blockchain, but technically it would be a fully centralized, controlled set of nodes. So in a way, yeah, it's a blockchain in that you can record it, and somebody can record and track it, and there's an immutable ledger. And how immutable is it if you control all the nodes and you can change them? Then you're essentially hacking yourself. Then it's not really a blockchain in the sense of a decentralized space where it's not under the control of a centralized entity. And so it is a horrible idea from that perspective, but it is inevitable. And one of the things that I said way early when I first got involved is that eventually all the good toys are ruined by the bad people. So it's not that the government's bad per se, but there can be very bad things that happen within the government and within a centralized system that is controlled by people who are selfish and manipulated by corporations and entities, and that's basically what would happen. So, and what will happen.
You were saying,
I think it's the future.
Yeah, you were saying earlier that that's why you think it's important to stay ahead of the curve on technologies and creating technologies to maybe counteract some of the negative effects that come when people decide to adopt this in ways we don't necessarily love.
Exactly. A decentralized Web3, a truly decentralized future in the Web3 will make it so that we are ahead of governments, which tend to be slow in adopting great technology and great opportunities. And that's fine. I hope they stay slow, except for, when I want them to be fast. But mostly I hope they stay slow so that we can stay out in front of them.
Well, I personally will be going back to paper cash if they do that in the good old US of A. I was telling you earlier, I think all government transactions should be on a blockchain that citizens of the world even could, audit at will. And I believe that everything private citizens do should not be on a blockchain, at least not a blockchain that isn't highly secured and perhaps using some kind of mixer or some kind of anonymity protector, because most people, I think that is just, we don't want to make tyranny more efficient. So I'm back to paper and coins if that is what happens.
Well said.
Good luck to the UK. Good luck to them, though.
Yeah. One more bit of BS I wanted to bring up, but actually I'm going to have our man Nathaniel come back on to tell us about it.
So over the weekend and all last week, we've been seeing Ethereum merge commercials on TV trying to explain the Ethereum merge. And I just feel like, as someone from Telos, that's like advertising radio on TV.
Yeah.
It's something we've already done before, so we don't have
Yeah.
any news for you that it's already done.
Yeah. They're so far behind the times. They're so far behind. And yet it feels new to people because they don't understand what's actually happening in the world.
Right.
And that's part of the process. When you have lots of money, you can advertise the dickens out of it and try to sell something that is already there. What about you, Stormtrooper?
I've given up trying to understand why people do what they do many years ago. This is just more inexplicable nonsense that is par for the course.
No, that's true. Very, very true. Thanks, Nathaniel.
You're welcome.
That brings us to the end of today's episode. If you want to learn more about the Web3 world, check us out wherever you listen to your podcasts, whether that's Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, etc. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification icon here on YouTube. And we'll see you guys next time. And for those who celebrate, happy Halloween, Dias de los
Yay.
Muertos. I don't know anything else.
You guys have a fantastic, fantastic week. Thanks a lot, guys.
Bye.